Hello, everyone. I'm Louis Beaumander. I'm the LB of LB Acting Studio.
I'm Stephen Yaffe. I'm one of the teachers at the studio, and I picked a scene from Banshees of Inisherin with the two characters, Dominic and Siobhan. The reason I picked it is because I think that this has a moment in it of absolute vulnerability, heartbreak that registers with everybody.
Hold you.
Jesus Christ!
I love too in that moment that he's about to fall and she grabs him.
She saves him, yeah.
She saves him in that moment from going in, which is kind of like a really dark metaphor. Spoiler alert. He ends up killing himself right after this by drowning in the lake.
Yeah. Between you and that ghoul, Jesus!
I always call her a ghoul too because she is a ghoul. Geez, we have a lot in common, don't we?
It's just the childlike nature of like, hey, look at both of
We
us.
have something
we have
common.
something common that's just working beautifully, right? It gives him almost like, it energizes him. I love how, I just love how open, again, like the physicality is with him, how specific it is. There's such precision in it, even though it's incredibly loose.
It's a great old lake, isn't it?
I mean, just to be open to that as an actor, to be open to that moment, to just be taking it in and be so connected that physically even you find that moment, like that's the castable moment to me. Like if I'm sitting on the other side of the couch here and I'm watching actors come in and audition for a role like this, like just taking your time and the physicality of opening yourself up and having that, that's what I think, again, like, you know, we really notice and makes a scene like this really be embodied.
It's so important that when you walk into a room or self-tape, however, whatever format you're doing a scene, that you actually believe you belong, that you're worth being there, and that you've got something to say, something to commit. And if you don't do that, who would want you?
Right, and that's like with this performance from both of them, but it's just they're offering so much to it, right?
I'm glad I caught you, actually. Because there was something I was wanting to ask you, actually. And discovering how much we have in common.
The patience that he has within this whole delivery, the patience that he has with going into what he's really come here for in this moment, right?
You probably wouldn't ever want to, I don't know.
See, I love this, like, before this, his eyes are just darting everywhere. He can't find the courage, but then when he actually does, he looks up to connect with her on that.
To fall in love with a boy like me, would you?
And this look, because at this point we could start laughing at him.
Absolutely. But she cues us into how we have to, you know, attend to this. Like, it's just right here. It's like, look at that. The way that even her head tilts, like in that, right there. And that's the kindness that she has in her eyes.
When I'm your age.
And when I'm your age.
Yeah, and then, see, again, like, she doesn't judge him for that, right?
No, she smiles.
Exactly.
But not a smile of derision. It's a smile of, I find that adorable.
Yeah.
There goes that dream.
See, even before he says, there goes that, there's the possibility he'll find one more thing to say, one more thing to say.
But, and then he accepts that dream's over.
Absolutely.
And but you know what's so interesting, and I think what's so heartbreaking about this is, like, we often all have that moment in our lives where, like, we realize that maybe something isn't going to happen for us, but never do we ever hear it then be vocalized out loud. That in a moment someone realizes it and literally says, well,
there goes that dream.
Often you see those moments as a voiceover.
That's
you
right.
know, as he's walking away, you hear that little speech. And I realized my dream of life is over.
Yeah.
And it would play over. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the whole thing, he has 2 or 3 asides that are actually said right to her. Yeah. Wonderful. And yeah, thanks for that. It was, I really enjoyed the film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I best go over there and do whatever that thing over there